This is Dune by Frank Herbert, published in 2016 by Ace Books for the Barnes & Noble Leatherbound Classics collection. It is bound in this bonded leather, so not the best quality of leather by any margin, but it still looks quite nice. As you can see, the front cover uses this design with layered colors of leather to create an image. So in the background, we have this deep navy blue leather to represent space. And then we use these light brown and orange leathers to create this impression of a sandy planet. The title is embossed in this gold stamping, gold foiling, I should say, and it looks quite nice. The author's name is in that same layered on orange leather. And this planet in the background has its own little gold accent, which I also like. There's also this oval shaped cutout, and it has these golden embossings around the outside, which gives it an overall very nice look. The spine has its own unique design, which looks very nice. We have the gilding throughout the spine. The fake hubs give it a bit of depth. They are very light though. And we have this main design in the middle of the spine. There is this person with that same layered on leather and a few gold accents such as the staff and the shadows of the cloak. Well, I should say the light reflecting off of the cloak. And then the title is also in that same gold foiling with the author's name underneath. The back cover is very similar to the front with this same oval shaped cutout and that same gold stamped design around it, but the actual image inside is different. So instead it depicts sandworms on a sandy planet with a few gold accents throughout. So it looks quite nice. The page edges are all gilded, and it's a pretty good job, especially considering that this book is only $40. It used to be $20. And there's a bit of wear and tear on this one because this is my very old copy of this book. There are also headbands, which are just in this plain pinkish orange. Here are the end papers, but first we'll look at this bookmark here. So we have this little ribbon bookmark. Nothing fancy. It's not made of silk, and it's also quite thin, but it looks quite nice in that washed out yellow look. And it will still help you mark your page just the same. So the end papers themselves are this printed design, which looks quite nice. They're a little thin, but not the worst. Paper of the book itself is your standard hardcover paper. It is a bit acidic because this book has begun to yellow. Actually, it's quite acidic, which is a shame. This book was manufactured in China. And the title page of the book is incredibly plain. I wish they would have done a little more with this. And we go straight into the book. There's no introduction in this book, which is expected, of course, for the price. And the type is this grayish black. You can see the drop cap here is just a very plain gray. What I do like about these Barnes & Noble leather-bound editions is the cool cover designs and the nice page gilding. But the content of the books themselves is pretty lackluster. It's usually just single color printing in this grayish color, so not the best. There's few to no illustrations, and the pages have no ornamentation on them either. One good thing about this book is how flat it lays open. As you can see from the very first page, it lays open perfectly flat, which is amazing. So you can read this entire book with it sitting in front of you on a tabletop. There's nothing to look at within the actual book itself because there is no ornamentation and no illustrations, as I already said. As you can see, it lays very nice and flat once you get towards the middle of the book with no issues at all. The binding is pretty decent. It makes a nice eye whenever you lay it flat. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. And that's all within the book itself. And the back end papers are actually different than the front, and they display a different illustration. I believe that this is supposed to look like the city on Arrakis. And that's all for this book. It's quite a nice copy of Dune. It's cheap enough where you don't feel bad reading it. And it has a quite nice shelf appeal. Thank you very much.